Will there ever come a day where the 2017 draft class gets referred to as the draft class that brought us Fox, Tatum, and Mitchell? I'm going to make the case that that will be the future that we will all talk about after this season. Welcome back in, ERB sports fans, to another video. In this video, you know what we're going to do. We're going to talk more about my favorite NBA player. I guess he's kind of my favorite NBA player, maybe my second favorite NBA player, but right now he is my favorite NBA player, and it's not even close. None other than Mr. DeAaron Fox. Yes, we're going to talk about DeAaron Fox, who is off to one of his best starts to his career. Many people asked me when I was on the Thanksgiving break, do I have a favorite card in my collection? And I said, I'm not really sure, but I got to tell you what, the color match, I guess like Money say, you're a sucker for color match. The color match optic purple DeAaron Fox PSA 10 for both the insert of the Rookie Kings, literally, Rookie King, or the purple optic. Love both these cards. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Mr. DeAaron Fox. Let's go talk about Foxy, as his coach refers to him as. Try to get the lighting right on these so you guys can enjoy these beautiful, beautiful DeAaron Fox cards. So DeAaron Fox is off to a fantastic start. The Kings are an up-and-coming team. Many said they kind of made the splash last year when they went 48-34, made the playoffs, took the Warriors to 7 games, and then ultimately lost in the first round to the Warriors in that Game 7 over at the Golden One Center. Fast forward to the offseason, DeAaron Fox worked a lot on his three-point shot, spent a ton of time with Steph Curry's trainer, and he came out guns a-blazing this year and was averaging over 30 points a game, was pretty much off to the hottest start of his young career. He still is really young, guys. This guy is only 25 years old. He's turning 26 this year in December, this coming month. I think he's just still on the very, very early stages of what could be a very, very special run in his career. Then he suffered an ankle injury at the Laker game on like the 4th game of the season, sat out 5 games. The Kings were terrible when he wasn't in the lineup. Then you bring him back and the Kings went on a 6-1, winning streak more or less, or a 6-game winning streak, I think, after he came back. And it was like, man, they can't lose. And then they lost a few games to the New Orleans Pelicans. Fast forward a little bit. Last night, they played the Golden State Warriors with a lot at stake. Many would say, well, it depends how you look at it, right? They had the NBA in-season tournament game that was going to decide who goes to the quarterfinals. So basically the semifinals before the semifinals for the Western Conference and Eastern Conference. And the Kings right now are the number 2 seed behind the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe. Then it would be the Kings. Then it would be the Pelicans, who are going to be the ones that go to travel to Golden One Center to face off against the Kings. And then the Phoenix Suns are going to play against the Los Angeles Lakers. So in the West, you have a very weird scenario where the top of the conference record-wise is teams that did not make the quarterfinals for this in-season tournament. I just wonder what happened. It could be a matter of the in-season tournament really brought out the teams that would do well in the playoff setting, or maybe teams just didn't care. I really have a hard time believing that the Dallas Mavericks didn't care, or the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't care, or the Oklahoma City Thunder didn't care about making it to the quarterfinals, because the Kings beat all 3 of those teams. Now, they weren't in the same bracket, so to speak, as the Mavericks, but they handled the Mavericks on a back-to-back pretty comfortably a couple weeks ago. And they whipped up on the T-Wolves and whipped up, maybe not whipped up, but beat pretty comfortably the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then finished it off last night with a very good come-from-behind win against the Golden State Warriors. DeAaron Fox, though, let's talk a little bit about DeAaron Fox. Looking at his stat line this year, averaging 29.6 points per game, a career best, 4.7 rebounds per game, and 6.1 assists with a very healthy 1.6 steals per game. All told, his shooting percentages this year are slightly up. I think his field goal percentage is right around 48%, which is about career average, 49% for him. His free throw percentage is about 72%, which is a little bit lower than last year, but I expect that to sort of even out in the long run. His three-point percentage, though, this year, at one point, it was up to about 38%. It's sluggish. It's kind of slumped back a little bit to about 36%. I think it'll probably settle in the 35-36% range, depending on how many shots he takes per game. Lately, he's been chucking it up a little bit more than I think most would like to see. But overall, I think they're also trying to just take the open shot and play very fast and take as many shots as they can throughout a game, hoping that the shooting percentages will sort of play out in the long run. So what do I think the Kings are going to do here in the quarterfinals of this NBA in-season tournament? Well, they're going to face the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans have the Kings' number. They whipped up on them in 2 games. They are definitely going to be a tough out. But it is a home game for the Kings, so that is going to play in their favor. And then the Kings also lost 2 games already at the Pelicans. One of them was a back-to-back. We'll kind of forgive that one. The second one was a very tight game down to the wire. They didn't have Keegan Murray, and they just lost the game by 5 points in the end. Looking at sort of how those things play out, I would say unless they're going to go down 0-3 to the Pelicans on the season series, I expect them to win that game, and then they would be in the semifinals against either the Lakers or the Suns. I honestly would rather have them match up against the Lakers. I think that would be the better matchup for them. But the Suns, they haven't been playing Bradley Beal. They've been sitting guys. You just never know what's going to happen. Maybe they just don't care about the in-season tournament. So quite frankly, as much as ERB Sports Fan wants to be fair on this one, I do think the Kings have a really, really good shot to win this in-season tournament in the West and be the team that makes it all the way to Las Vegas, but they got to play the games first. From a card market perspective, what do I think DeAaron Fox is going to do from here? Well, a lot of it's going to depend on whether people will give him credit for any wins in the playoffs, because at this point, I think there is a little bit of baked-in expectation that this Kings team might make it past the first round, but it really depends because many of the pundits were picking the Kings to sort of take a step back this year, and I don't think his market has really moved that much. But I let off this video talking about when will we, as a collective hobby, now I'm making this video for Neo Cards and Comics. I don't think Rob will watch this one. Rob and I have talked, briefly at a couple card shows. Hopefully he remembers who I am. I think he does, but in case he doesn't, I will keep pestering this point home until he recognizes the 2017 draft class as not just the Tatum and Mitchell draft class, but the Fox, Tatum, and Mitchell class, because by and large, this year, DeAaron Fox is not only emerging, he is putting himself smack dab in the middle of that, on the edges and fringes of an MVP discussion. I'm not crazy to think that. I think there's many, many people in the league who believe that could be the case for him in the future. When Steph Curry was in his age 26-27 season, that's when he won his first MVP. Steph is a great shooter. There's no doubt. Before Steph was Steph, he was always a great shooter. Before I would say Fox is Fox, Fox was a great scorer. But Fox this year is different. He's just become a great two-way player. His defense, they match him up against the tough guards or forwards to defend on the other team. He doesn't shy away from the challenge. It's not like he's a decoy out there or it's just kind of taking up space defensively. He's actually a very big difference maker on the defensive side of the ball for the Sacramento Kings, and hence the reason why they are getting better defensively. They're not there yet, but they're getting better. If this team is going to make a playoff run, it is because Fox plays like an MVP. It is because teams respect him like an MVP. I am starting to see more and more when you watch the eye test of the Sacramento Kings play. Teams are respecting DeAaron Fox. They will try to double team him at the half-court line, which is crazy. The only players they used to do that with were like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard, or when James Harden was chucking up threes net left and right and sinking them. They might try to do that with him just to slow him down, to get the ball out of his hands. When they want to get the ball out of Fox's hands because they know he's about to make a play, they'll double team him. They'll try to get the ball into the hands of either Sabonis, Herter, or Barnes, or whomever else is out there right now for the Kings, depending on game-to-game situation. But they're treating him like an MVP. They're treating him like the most important player on that team. And I do think, other than Sabonis, he probably is. And I still think we have not seen the best that DeAaron Fox can offer. I got to tell you, I am enamored with watching DeAaron Fox play. I never miss a Kings game, at least the first half. I will watch every game if I can, and they play again tonight. So let me know what you guys think. I know I rambled there a little bit, but you just want to take in the beauty of these purple color match DeAaron Fox cards. It just doesn't get any better than that, does it, guys? Well, anyway, let me know when you think the 2017 draft class will be referred to as the Fox-Tatum-Mitchell draft class instead of just Tatum-Mitchell and some other guys. Neo Cards and Comics, I am waiting for you to say that. So with that, we'll leave it there. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more content. We got plenty more rips to come, plenty more other things to do on this fun channel. So thanks again, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.